Rabbi, this is my first successful attempt to begin and stay with Daf Yomi. Amazingly, there have been several instances where the day's Daf lessons overlapped with something going on that same day, including my children's homework or even a quick shir led by my shul's rabbi immediately following Shacharis. Good luck in Shabbos and Erevin. I don't know if that's going to be a daily thing. I am thoroughly enjoying each day's 8 minutes and sometimes the full shir when time permits. Ay. Everybody should have time for the full shir, no?
Yes. Unacceptable.
It's unacceptable. Mark. Every day you have to make time for this. Okay, fine. He's doing tshuva. Ideally, it is best suited for my commute into work each morning by train. He's going on train, so he has plenty of time. If I can make one simple request, as I am sure thousands of others here on the East Coast of the U.S. would agree, is that you consistently post both shiurim by approximately 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This would ensure that many of us can listen and learn before work and start our day off properly. If a post later becomes an end of work day listen, I am sure you have many other commitments, so if that's not possible, I understand. Thank you again and mazel tov for a great job and for your new grandson. Respectfully, Mark Coulter, Great Neck, New York. So that's one. I'm going to address that in a second. Hello. This is from Kasriel Gewurtzman. I firstly wanted to thank you on your 8-minute daf. It's amazing and helped my learning immensely. I've spoken with a bunch of huge fans, and we have one request. Do you think you can get it out earlier? I find it tremendously helpful always, but especially when I can listen on the way to shul. With much appreciation, Kasriel Gewurtzman, may you continue to have the strength to spread Torah worldwide. So, obviously, the idea is to get it out the night before. And somebody asked me, how long does it take you to record the 8-minute daf? 8 minutes? And the answer is no, about 3 hours in addition to preparing the daf. It's just preparing the 8 minutes, just to summarize it. Then there's another 2 hours of video editing, which Baruch Hashem, I have a lot of help from Ruven Chait now. So, yes, it's supposed to come out the night before. Unfortunately, the short Erev Shabbos, it's very difficult to produce a video after Shabbos, after there's a shir, etc. No excuses. We are on board. We are where we need to be right now. Today's video is on time. And Be'ezer Hashem, we're going to try to make a tremendous effort to get it out in time. Okay, so that being said, and we have the whole issue with the WhatsApp. There's already 16,000 people, and just to get it out is crazy. But once we have that down packed, it should come out on time, because most people actually, not most, a lot of people tell us that they enjoy it as a hachana, preparation to. So anyways, we understand it's very important. One more email. Baruch Hashem, I just at 40,000 feet. This is the first time I ever remember learning Gemara on an airplane. When the Gemara says matzah b'tech matzah, don't forget that the matzah was soft and they could actually wrap the broken matzah. Okay, it has a whole shot of moitzi matzah. Thank you for the shir, in parentheses, sure. In other words, he listened yesterday for sure. Loving every minute of being part of the Daf Yomi. Danny. P.S. How does one get to join the WhatsApp group? If he's talking about the WhatsApp group for the shir, so we're starting another group for the whole world. There's one that's specifically for this group because of the Zmanim and everything else. Anyways, this is our good buddy, Michael Cohen, the lawyer. He came to visit us, and it says, I can't see either. This is Olam Haba, Chazdei Hashem. And he says he thinks that this guy over here is Bernie the Burn. And he says, Daf Yomi, shawarma, coke, and a cigar in Ben Yehuda on vacation is Olam Haba. And he has the little daf going on here. Okay, great. This is all from one day. I got at least 4 pictures of people like this. I'm only going to show some of them today. This is Shlomo Skolnick in Miami with the daf. Who else do we have here? We have our good old friend Gary. We truly miss him. It's not been the same, Gary. He's pretending to learn here. Looking. Gary, this is an Eilat. Anyways, fine. I think that's it for today.
Thank you for reading his email.
Who?
Daniel.
Oh, okay. My pleasure. You're a great guy. Fine. Let's go weiter. Start. What time is it? Yeah, this I need for later. 10 minutes.
Put it down.
We'll put it over here. Zok Eli Gemara. We're holding where we need to be holding. And believe it or not, we are on Daf Mem. I mean, we just started Shas and we're on Daf Mem. That's how Shas goes. It goes by real quickly. Hold on tight, and we'll be at the end soon. Omer Rav. We're discussing the concept of a hefsek. If one makes a birkas hamoitzi and then talks, then he has to repeat the bracha. However, there are a few exceptions. Omer Rav, toil baruch, toil baruch. Take this piece of challah that came from a bracha. Take this piece of challah. So, like your wife is spacing out or something in the middle of the meal. Here, take the challah, and she's not listening. You say it again. Toil baruch, toil baruch. Eino yitzarech levarach. That's not considered a hefsek because whatever is important to the bracha, that's not considered a hefsek. Have melach, have lifton. Pass the salt. Bring the relish. Tzarech levarach. That's not important to the meal. So according to this Manda Omar, you have to repeat the bracha again. You're just saying a word. If you say a word by mistake, you have to repeat the bracha. Rabbi Yochanan Omar.
Salt is for the challah.
Oh,
That's okay.
Rabbi Yochanan Omar. Afilu haviu melach haviu lifton nami eino yitzarech levarach. He says that salt and relish is not a hefsek. Eino yitzarech levarach. We're going to go into it a little bit more. Hamaitzi lechem in aretz. The person you washed, you said hamaitzi lechem in aretz, and you did not cut your bread. You didn't bite into it, and you started talking. You said, "Sit down," or whatever you said has nothing to do with eating the bread. You have to say the bracha again. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu, hamaitzi lechem in aretz. Now, gabel l'toiri. Now, if you just read it, what does that? Make food for the ox. Make food for that has nothing to do with the hamaitzi. Rav Sheishes Omar. So of course it's a hefsek. Rav Sheishes says no. Afilu gabel l'toiri. You say make food, prepare food, or nowadays get the dog food. Nami eino yitzarech. No. Okay. Nami eino yitzarech levarach. The Omer Rav Yehuda Omer Rav. Also adam sheyochal kodim shitim machal behemtoi. You're not allowed to eat yourself before you give food to your animal. Shenemar v'nasati esav v'sotcha levimtecha. V'hadar v'chadav v'savata. If HaKadosh Baruch Hu does it, we have to mimic HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives food to the animals first, then to the humans. We also have to give food to our animals. So when you tell your child, go make sure that the dog has food before you cut into the bread, before you eat the bread, that's not considered a hefsek. Says Tosfos. We should jump into Tosfos, top Tosfos, Havi Melach, 5 lines from the bottom. Beautiful Tosfos. Mi Rabbeinu Menachem hayu medaktik ma'od l'havi melach al shulchan. Kedisa b'medrash. Kish Yisrael yoshim al shulchan umamtinim zem zeh shit liyidem. So people sit down at the table after they wash their hands, and they're just sitting idle. Ve'im beloy mitzvahs. Since they can't talk and learning, they're not saying, oh, they're just sitting there. Hasatan mikatrik aleim. That's a great time for the Yetzirah, the Satan, to jump in and get them. Ubris melach mogen aleim. He says that's why we have salt, and that gives us protection. The B'si Yosef says another reason. The reason why we have salt is zeichel to the mizbeach. We used to pour salt on the mizbeach. So you don't really have to dip your bread in the salt. Has nothing to do. Just the salt being there is like the mizbeach. However, the Mishabura brings that al pi Kabbalah there's an inyan to dip your bread in salt 3 times. Okay. What?
What does the gross say?
I think you're supposed to. Fine. Now, as we're going to see soon, maybe I'll just say it now. Let's just see it inside, and we'll say it then. Omar Rava. Omar Rava bar Shmuel. So now the Gemara is going to say Rava bar Shmuel. And back in the day, I don't know if whoever was here remembers, I once went through the entire Shas counting all the Ravas there are, and I think I forgot what I came out with. Like 53 different types of Ravas. We have Rava and Abaya, and then there's Rava bar Shmuel and Rava bar this, 53 different Ravas in Shas. I think. I wrote it down somewhere, I have to find it. But anyways, here's one of them. And once we bring, which is an unusual name, the Gemara brings 3 halachas from him that are not necessarily have to do with our sugya. Amar Rava bar Shmuel Mishum Rebbe Chia. Ein abitzaya reshoy liftzoya ad sheyaviu melach or liftan lifnei kol echad ve'echad. you have to prepare yourself before you make the bracha. You don't want people to make a hefsek. So you have to make sure that everybody has their salt, everybody has their relish in front of them, and then you make a bracha. Rava bar Shmuel ikla lebeirish gelusa apikule rifta ubatza lahedya. And one time, Rava bar Shmuel himself, the author of this halacha, they have to make sure that everybody has salt. He went ahead and he cut his bread before he had salt. Amrulei hadamar mishmaite, what, you took it back? Amrulhu leis dein tzarich bishash. This is a refined bread. It comes from refined flour. Refined flour doesn't need my salt, doesn't need the relish, so it depends on the bread. Says Taisvis, in our days that we have refined flour, so you don't need salt. So if you don't need salt, then you shouldn't say melach, melach. A lot of people say, oh, melach. Says Taisvis, no. Wants the salt, for whatever reason wants the salt, he could say melach, it's part of the bracha and require you to say the bracha of Amoitzi again. V'amar Rava bar Shmuel, Mishum Rebbe Chia. So, aside halacha, once we mention it, if one wants to empty out his bladder, the best way to do it is sitting. Because we're talking about, again, this issue of having droplets on the leg and it'll look like he has mamzerim. So if you want to be really careful, sit. And if there's soft dirt, you could be standing, it won't get to the leg. And if he doesn't have that, you should stand in a high place. Midran into a lower place. Another halacha. After every meal, eat some salt. That will be good for your health. And after drinking a lot of wine or whatever it is, drink water. Says the Ramah that if you have salt in your food already, then you don't have to do this eitz of the Gemara. It's already included in your. And if you have any kind of drink that has water, maybe soda has water, a lot of water, more sugar, but it has water. So you're not going to be damaged. But if you don't eat salt, you don't drink water after different beverages, you'll have bad breath, especially if you don't brush your teeth. Askara is like the worst disease in those days. So if you don't eat salt or drink water after your food, as we'll see, that food is the cause of askara. It has to do with the intestines, and therefore it's dangerous. You should be no. Does it say? Oh, you shouldn't have.
Not too much, a little bit. After a little bit.
Yeah, you have salt, but not a lot. It's all the Gemara says that there's three things that too much of it is not good, a little bit is good. So a little is very good. It doesn't say how much. Take a little salt. If a person soaks his food in water, meaning he puts so much water in his body that when he puts the food in afterwards, it feels like it's floating inside over there. He will not come to diseases. I actually have a picture of this. It has nothing to do, it's like literally a tangent. But this guy, I thought it has a lot of musar to Torah also. The world champion of hot dog eating, it stood at 25 hot dogs in 12 minutes. This guy came along and he did 50. 50 hot dogs. How? What? Yeah. Yeah, this is Kobayashi. Kobayashi. So how did he do it? Basically, he figured out that if you take the hot dog bun and you dip it in water real quickly, then it breaks down its starch and you could eat it. So I thought, as I was reading this, I just thought about it. And then when I thought about that, I was like, that reminds me of what's his name, of Roger Bannister, right? Nobody could run a 4-minute mile until he came along in 54, and he ran the 4-minute mile. And as soon as he did it, 2 other people did it that same year, and then 1,400 people have done it since. So what's the yisoid? What does that have to do with us? Tremendous. I have a lot to say about this topic. Seriously, it's a tremendous yisoid in life. That in my shul, for instance, in Chicago, where I davened a lot, there must be 10 guys that are under 30 years old that are multimillionaires. And if you think about why. They don't come from wealthy families. Because of this yisoid. Because in their head, it's doable. Everybody does it. Everybody in Chicago, so you're 22 years old. You buy a nursing. What's the big deal? But if you take the Yesod, I think it's smart to take the Yesod and do it for learning. There's like 100 feet away from this base marriage, there's a guy, his name is Rabbi Pessin, you're all probably familiar with him. He only sleeps like 2 hours a night. He's sending out Chidushei Torah at 4 in the morning. You say to yourself, if he could do it, why can't we do it? So anyways, it's a Yesod in life. It's a big, big Yesod. You want to use it for money, great. I think it's better to use it for Torah. But how did this come about? I have no idea. If a person soaks his food in water, like Kobayashi, I didn't know he's like I guess he's a famous guy. Today's already 64.
He's a famous guy.
Rabbi Isai, if you really want good Musar, I'm not kidding. One of the best Musar I ever did was watch a video about Kobe Bryant. As bad as the guy is, you saw this about learning Shenkamai, the amount of hasmada that he had. When it says basketball, just stick in Torah, and you'll see things like unbelievable. You just get up at 4 in the morning and learn. It'll be better than everybody else. That's the Yesod about Kobe and Jordan. Anyways, if you drink a whole flask of water with every bread, whatever the bread size was in those days, a flask in those days, then you won't come to any diseases of the intestines. If you eat lentils once every 30 days, you won't have askara. This, you need to see Rashi inside. You won't believe me. Says Rashi, the whole askara, this whatever asthma, whatever, this terrible disease that it restricts the breathing, comes from a disease of the intestines. Vahadashim, lentils cause shilshul. And memela, you won't be constipated, and therefore the person won't have askara. Don't eat too much of it. That's a terrible idea. Because it causes bad breath. If you eat mustard once every 30 days, this also prevents disease. Don't eat it every day. Too much of a good thing is not good. It'll weaken the heart. If somebody eats sardines or anything like that, it prevents intestines disease. They mafra more zera or mavrin kol gufay shel adam. They heal the body. What is ketzach? So says Rashi, pshat number 1, he says it's fennel, it's this thing right over here. But he doesn't like that pshat. And he goes away and he says ketzach is, I didn't realize that a lot of products in Israel have it, and even says ketzach right over here. It's this black seed that's on the, I don't know what it is. I don't think Rashi, the art scroll brings the taich in English, but anyway, it says some sort of seed. I believe in Hebrew, this is what ketzach is. It's on a lot of different stuff. Yeah, everybody should have one. Taste, because it's very, very healthy, and don't smell it because it could kill you. Harago beketzach, I'm serious, open it up because I'm not going to eat it. Harago beketzach ein balad kevlev. Meisvei Reb Shimon ben Gamliel. Reb Shimon Gamliel oimer. So if you eat ketzach, you won't have heartache. I don't know if it means literally or emotionally, whatever. You won't have a heartache. Meisvei Reb Shimon ben Gamliel oimer. Ketzach echad mishimshim samanei amavesu. Before you eat it, listen to what the Gemara says. It's one of the 60 poisons of the world. Vayoshan lemizrach garnoi. And if you sleep to the east of it, dome b'roishoi. Because the wind will come and blow it into your face, and a person could die. Loi kashya. Yes, you're right. The smell of it will kill you, but the taste is delicious and it saves you from heartache. The Rabbi Yirmiya's mother made him bread. She would make him bread, and she'd put this ketzach on it so that it would absorb the flavor, and then and then she would scrape it right off. So we had in the Mishnah that Rabbi Yehuda narrows down the bracha of ha'adama. It's not just ha'adama for all vegetables. Some vegetables are ha'adama, and the greens get bari minei d'shaim, and we also had seeds get bari minei zeraim. He has at least 3 brachas. You don't narrow it down. We do like we do today. Everything's ha'adama. Where did he get his idea from? Baruch Hashem yom yom. What, you should only bless Hashem in the day? every day, give him what the day is. So, on Shabbos, so on Shabbos, you give him a Shabbos bracha. On Yontav, you give him a Yontav bracha. On lettuce, Deshayim. On seeds, Zerayim. Each thing has its own bracha. Again, so here's another thing. We mentioned Rav Papa. Look how different HaKadosh Baruch Hu is than humans. If you have a full vessel, you can't fill up anymore. When he created humans, it's different. If a person is full of Torah, he could retain more Torah. But if he's empty, it's hard for him to retain Torah. If you heard, then you'll hear even more. Another pshat. Rabbi says, see if you can be mechaven to my pshat when you're reading this line here. If you did chazara, says the Gemara. This is how Rashi says. Chazara. It's all about chazara. If you chazer, tishma b'chadash, you'll be able to retain new stuff. And if you turn around from it and you don't, shuvle tishma, you won't listen anymore. And I think the pshat is, and I know Noam is going to love this pshat, like we said, when it comes to Daf Yomi, one of the things, the miles of Daf, if you learn it, you get to learn it again in Olam Haba, and that's the pshat. In Tishma, you be Yashan in this world, then Tishma b'chadash, in the world to come, the Olam Haba, you'll hear it again. Mardik. What do you say? He likes it.
Is that many sugyas, the repetitive sugyas, concepts,
so that's Yashan.
The more you're able to learn, it's already chazara, future sugyas you've never seen, you've seen.
Very good. That's coming from Ari, who does tons of chazaras, and unfortunately, because he does so much chazaras, he's not going to join us in Masechet Shabbos because he knows it on the tip of his fingers. But he will join us when I'm not around. Maybe he'll give a few shiurim. Zok the Mishnah. Berach al Peros. Berach al Peros Elon. Boyer Pri Adama. If you say on the fruit of a tree that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created things from the ground, a tree is in the ground, so it includes also fruit, yotza. But if you said it on a vegetable, you look at a carrot and you say, Hashem created fruit of a tree, but the carrot doesn't grow in the tree, it grows in the ground, lo yotza. Because it doesn't make any sense what he's saying. Valkulam, and on all foods, and the Gemara is going to say, maybe perhaps there's an exception, im omer shahakol niya b'dvara yotza. Shahakol is a very general bracha that can include even fruits and vegetables. Mantana, the Ikir Elon Arahi, who does our Mishnah go according to? Omer Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, Rabbi Yehudahi. This nan. Yavesh HaMa'ayin v'Niksar Elon. We're talking about Bikurim. You bring the first fruit of the Shivas Haminim to the Beis Hamikdash, and when you get there, you say a whole tefillah, and what you say is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu ala Aretz HaToiva Shenosa, this land that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave me. Now, what happened was, on his way, he found out, before he got to Yerushalayim, he finds out that his stream dried up. That his tree that he grows fruit on, somebody knocked it down. So what should he do? Should he thank Hashem for the land that Hashem gave him? It's already cursed. It's not so nice anymore to say, oh, so like you're poking fun at Hashem, look at the land that you gave me, but there's a dried up stream in my land. Maybe ve'nikoira. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, maybe v'koira, because Rabbi Yehuda holds, what's the ikr? The ikr is the land, it's the dirt. Everything else is secondary. So the tree grows out of the land. So memela, that's the pshat in the Mishnah. The eight, the tree, no. But if you said a hadama on an apple grows out of the ground. It happens to be 20 feet off the ground on a tree, but the tree is secondary to the ground, and therefore it makes sense that our Mishnah goes according to Rabbi Yehuda. Al Peres Haaretz Pshita. If you mess up the wording and you say on a carrot ha'etz, of course you're not yaitza Amar Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak lo nitzracha ela Rabbi Yehuda. The Amar chita min iloni. Wheat is a tree, and if wheat is a tree, perhaps you could say ha'etz on wheat. No, you can't. The Sanya Elon Shacham men Adam Rishon. So this is the famous machlokes. What did Adam Rishon eat from the Eitz Hadas? What was the fruit? Three-way machlokes Remei Oime Gefen Hoya. It was grapes. Shein l'chadav maybe Yilala ala Adam Elo Yain. If you think about it, what food in this world causes the most damage? Grapes. All the drunk driving, all the shikorim, all the
wheat, beer.
Beer.
With the beer, they get a car and then boom.
Vodka.
It's all wheat.
Fine. Anyway, maybe Yilala ala Adam. No, we're saying that it's not wheat, that it's geffen. So Mela, it makes sense that Adam Rishon was chayta with this famous wine, the grape. Shenema v'yesh min hayayin v'yishkar. What happened to Noach? Also, he drank, and all tzaras happened. It was a fig. Shebadav sheniskalku boy nitaknu. Shenema v'yitfir alitena. I'm sure this is Rabbi Pessin Sefer of Mida Keneged Mida. In other words, why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu give him the leaves of a fig? Because he was chayt in the fig. It makes sense. Not so much Mida Keneged Mida, but to compensate, so to speak. Also, I think they say, I'm pretty sure, that other trees weren't willing to give from their leaves. I'm an apple tree, I don't want to give you leaf. You're a chayta. The fig was kind of forced to, so it makes sense. Because he was able to use the teina, he did the chet from the teina. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, and here's the point.
Teina had to give him the leaves because the Teina let him take the fruit.
That's what I'm saying.
Right,
If he let him take.
That's it.
Yeah.
No choice.
Why was the fig forced to give?
Because he was chayta from it.
He had to give them the leaves.
Rabbi Yehuda Omer chita isa. It was wheat. Why? It makes a lot of sense. What is it called? It's called Eitz Hadas. The tree of intelligence. It gives you das. A child, we call it a tree because he ate from it. So it's called, you see that it's a tree because the Torah calls it a tree. It's a tree. Whatever the Torah calls a tree is a tree. And it's called Eitz Hadas. And if he ate chita, must be that wheat is a tree. And why? Because it makes sense. Through wheat, through carbs, you get das. I think even today we understand that it feeds the brain. I'm just thinking about it loud now. I might be wrong. I would think that he should make a eitz on wheat. The branch will come and produce more fruit. But once you remove the wheat, it doesn't grow again. What's the classic example of that? Everybody knows a banana. Banana it only produces one time. That's it. And if you cut it down all the way to the bottom, maybe it grows again a couple times. But the point is that branch cannot grow another fruit. So therefore, you don't make a boy pri eitz. Ella boy pri hadama. In other words, in order for it to be a eitz, it has to be perennial and not an annual. Yeah? Annual are those flowers that will come out once and they die. Perennials. All right. Zok Gemara. Val kulanim omar shahakol. Itmar Ravuna omar chutz min hapatzim min hayayin. Shahakol is great for everything besides wine and bread. Explains Rashi because wine, you don't drink. Sometimes you don't drink wine because you want to drink wine. When you do have a dollar, do you really want to drink wine now? You have to do kiddush, you make wine. So in other words, the wine is there, you're forced, not so much for a drink. So Mamela, we make a special bracha on it to show that it's unique. It's the wine it's not the drink as much as the wine itself. And why not? Why not? And why bread? Because sometimes bread, you can do kiddush on bread if you don't have wine. Rabbi Yochanan Omar afilu pas v'yayin. It's interesting, we had this yesterday, Taisus points it out twice. When Rabbi Yochanan argues with Rav Huna, who's the halacha like? Says Taisus, the halacha is like Rabbi Yochanan. Why? Because when Rabbi Yochanan argues with Rav Huna's Rebbe, who's Rav, Rabbi Yochanan beats him. So certainly with the Talmud, who's Rav Huna. Okay. So Memela, it comes out that a shahakol is good for bread and wine, if you make that mistake. Name a ketanoi. Ra pas v'omar kama no pazu. Baruch hamokim shebra. A person invented his own bracha. He's spontaneous. He said, Baruch kama no pazu. It's so beautiful. Blesses Hashem that created it. It's nothing to do with what we have in the Siddur. Yatza. One madam says Yatza. Ra teina v'omar kama no teina zu. The same thing. Baruch hamokim shebra. Yatza divrei meir. Rabbi Yossi Omer, Kol HaMishanim Matbea Shetovu Chachamim BaBrachos. If somebody changes from the minted coin, in other words, Chachamim made a very specific bracha, it has specific words. If you change any of the words, or you make up your own bracha, you're not yoitza. This is a whole nidan, and if you miss a word, not a miss, but we're going into, he created his own bracha. Loi yotzi dechei vasai, he's not yoitza. Neima, they standardize it, like our Shmoneh Esrei, our this. Neima Rav Huna the Omar Kirib Yosi. Rav Huna that says that shahakol doesn't work on wine, he holds like Rabbi Yosi, that Rabbi Yosi says, he's not yoitza. Now, Taisus asks a bam kasha because Rabbi Yosi admits that shahakol works for everything. So you are mishana. If I take a shahakol and I make it on an apple, I am yoitza. But I was mishana mebet shetov chachamim. Why are you saying that all of a sudden wine, when I'm not yoitza in wine, then I'm like Rav Huna that says, how does that fit? Okay, so the Rishonim deal with that. Name it, yeah. Rabbi Yochanan the Omar Kirimei. Rabbi Yochanan says that shahakol works on everything, on bread and wine. Say like Remeir that if you just make up your own bracha, it's also good. So you made up your own bracha, shahakol, it works on bread and wine, and everybody's saying the same. Omar Ravuna. No, there's ways to look at it differently. I know the Amra Afilu Rabbi Meir. Adkan loy Omar Rabbi Meir Hasam. Rabbi Meir says that I can make up any wording I want in a bracha. The past. Look what he did. He said, how beautiful is this bread? But he mentioned bread when he was eating bread. The past. He just said a shahakol. Yet, so in other words, there's pros and cons to everything. Shahakol is a standardized bracha. A very general bracha doesn't mention bread. But when a person makes up his own bracha, it's not standardized. It doesn't come from chachamim, but it mentions bread. So you could go both ways, says the Gemara. The past. Rabbi Yochanan says shahakol is good for everything, even for bread and wine. I know that I'm Rabbi Yosi that says that you can't be mishana from medbesh shetov chacham. Ad can come Rabbi Yosi also. This table is shaking way too much, and that means the camera is shaking too much. Rabbi Yosi also mele mishum de kama bracha de tekin rabbanon. Aval omar shahakol niya b'dvared de tekin rabbanon. It comes right out of the siddur. Rabbanon misag. I feel Rabbi Yosi moida. Maybe Rabbi Yosi moida that shahakol is good. Says the Gemara on the same line, but even more. B'yomen raya. I looked it up. He's not mentioned anywhere else in Shas, so it seems like he's just a shepherd. Karach rifta. Not so much a Talmud Chacham. I'm saying I don't know. Could be he was, but it doesn't seem like he was. It just happened to be that this shepherd. Now, how would you read this Gemara? Karach rifta. What does that mean? What is the simple lashon? Karach rifta. What? It has to be more than that. It has to be that he ate the sandwich that he made. Otherwise, what's pshat? It says v'amar baruch mored ha'pita. According to you, what bracha did he make? He made a moitzi. But for what? For his first bracha or last bracha? First bracha. So that's not the pshat in the Gemara. The pshat in the Gemara is that he made a Berachos hamazon. So l'chayra, they understood that from just karach rifta means he ate his bread. V'amar baruch. How does the Mesivta say on karach rifta that he ate or he made a sandwich? Ochel. So you have to say it's pashut. You have to say that he ate the bread. Baruch manai pita. Omar Rav, because when I was reading it, I also that's what? Oichel pas nikra rifta karach rifta. When you eat it, that's how the lashon of the Gemara of karach rifta means that you're eating it. Fine. Omar Rav yotza he's yotza birkas hamazon with 4 words. My kids would love this. So I'm sorry, not my kids, my wife. I'm still allowed to make fun of it. Birich mare dai pita. 4 words. Birkas hamazon. Amarav Yotzav Amarav Kol Bracha Shein Ba'askor Hashem Ein a Bracha. What do you mean? He only said 4 words, no mention of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Amar Birch Rachmana Mare Daipita, the master like Adoin. Sumail is 5 words, and he's Yotzav Birchas Hamazon. V'Abein and Shalosh Brachas. What are you talking about? Everybody agrees that Midaraisa you need at least 3 brachas in Birchas Hamazon. My Yotzav the Amarav Nami Yotzav de Bracha Rishona. So this guy comes along, invents a new bracha, says 5 words. He's yotza the first bracha of Birchas Hamazon. Michael Mashmalon, big chiddush. Avagav da amro b'loshen choil. So most likely the chiddush is not that he said Hashem's name. You have to say Hashem's name, so he said Hashem's name. So what is the chiddush exactly? That he said it in Aramaic? You're allowed to say it in Aramaic, Tanina. There's 5 things that you could say in Aramaic in any lashon in English. Parsha Soita, Vidu Meiser, when you give Meiser, any Meiserishan, Sheni, whatever, Ani. By Pesach, the Achron Shel Pesach, you come along and you give him Vidu Meiser. The Gemara is actually going to discuss a little bit of it. Bring the Psukim later. With Kriya Shema, you could say Kriya Shema in English. With Tefillah and Shemon Esrei in English. With Birkas Hamazon in English. So what is the big chiddush that this guy did? Great. If you say, you take the art scroll, the interlinear or whatever it's called, that siddur, you say word for word, English, you're translating, what is it called? The one that, translator, no, there's two. One is the word underneath, interlinear. Yeah, the one that, you say word for word, it's okay. That you could say in English. But if you're just making up a whole new nusach, and it's in English, that's two strikes. Perhaps that's not good.
When you say in English, you have to say with Hashem's name, Shem. Because in the Siddur it says Shem.
How do you say it in English?
You say Shem Hashem, Ado.
What if you don't say Shem Hashem in English?
How do you say it in English?
The master, I don't know.
You don't say Hashem. Right.
No, I'm saying in English. He's asking, how do you say Hashem's name in English? By the way, Jonathan is not here. I hope he's watching. He's also in Eilat. We have like 3 guys in Eilat. Yesterday, this is Shtus Kasha. I have to go back a second.
They can go to Eilat. We can go to Eilat.
The whole shit should go to Eilat. Let's do brachas, siyum brachas in Eilat. Nobody will ever show up. All the firm guys will, what? Shkatzim. He's in Chutz La'aretz. Who goes to Chutz La'aretz? Anyways, my chavrusa didn't want to come to my daughter's wedding because he's in Chutz La'aretz, never gone to Eilat. It's Chutz La'aretz. Anyway, going back just real quickly because he asked a good kasha. I thought it was a good kasha. It was really, he's not here. It was a klutz kasha. I'm sorry because I saw the answer. I learned it, but I forgot. He's asking that spinach is hadama, and if you have pargiot and even if cooked cabbage is shahakol, but what about the spinach? But Rashi says on the spinach it's also cooked. All 3 of them, all of them, so they're all shahakol. Fine, klutz kasha. Another thing I forgot to mention yesterday. It's very important. Now they have an extra minute. What if a person makes a bracha on 1 seed of a pomegranate? Now you have to make a bracha rishon that we discussed yesterday on anything you eat, even the most minute amount. You can't have enough from this world without a bracha. You make a bracha achroina on a tiny little seed. Yesterday we were talking about a kazayis, a zayis. You make a bracha achroina, but it's not the shear. So Tosfos yesterday mentions yes, it's called a bria. A bria, even in a small, if it's a full round thing. So why in olive yesterday we had a shayla and Rabbi Yochanan? It says Tosfos because they took the seed out. So it's broken. Fine. Oh, another very important thing that I forgot to mention in the morning, I mentioned at night, is this is a crazy halacha. You have a whole bowl of pomegranate seeds. You're about to eat them. I don't know, what do you guys like? Whatever you like. You take one, you say, Baruch Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam borei pri eitz, and it falls out of your hand. But you have kavanah for the whole, you're looking at this, you're talking about this, but you know you're going to eat this. Tais says you have to make another height. Because your bracha was focused on this one, and it's on the ground. Redo the bracha. Big chiddush. We paskin like the Ramah, I think, that if you make a general bracha, you're not focused, then it's on everything, obviously.
Right in front of you.
But you focus on this one. That's the chiddush.
Water fountain.
Water's different. He talks about a water. Water in a stream. Water in a stream, because your mind is all the water. But over here you had to focus. That's the problem. Your focus ruined it.
Don't be focused against
Zog Gemara. I think I took this. I thought I had 8 minutes. We could do everything in 8 minutes, but it's a big. Okay. Zog Gemara. Right? If he said the exact same words, if you didn't say the exact same words like Chachamim, Kamashmal not Gufa. Amarav. Kol bracha she'ein ba askaras Hashem in a bracha. It's very essential that you mention Hashem's name in the bracha. So it could be that answers your question. That you need to say Hashem's name, and maybe in English it's not. I don't know. We have to look it up. You have to mention the fact that Hakadosh Baruch Hu is a king. In a bracha. In other words, he admits that you have to say Hashem's name. That's for sure. But you have to add also a melech. It seems like Rav because we have in Furish Shabraisa. Talking about those the tefillah that you say when you bring vidui meiser. So it says in the Torah, I didn't forget to bench to say bracha. And I said Hashem's name. Doesn't mention anything about kingdom. Yeah, you're right. You have to amend it. You have to insert. Is in big trouble with this brisa. Therefore, he has to amend the brisa. The Rishonim discuss how's it possible. We know that the only bracha in the Torah is Birkas Hamazon. So how are you telling me that there's a bracha for meiser? So they say, no, this pasuk is not a real thing. It's an asmachta, and there's a bunch of rishonim on this. Says the Mishnah. Anything that doesn't grow on the ground, you say shakal. Now, ala chometz, vala noivles, vala goivai, vinegar. What's vinegar? It's your good wine that went sour. And noivlos. We're going to see what noivlos are. But basically, they are dates that are ruined. They were burnt in the sun. Vala goivai, locust. We have now discussed, right? In the world, there's a big thing of locusts going on. I don't know if you heard about this. It's going in Africa. Is locust a good thing or a bad thing? Locust is a curse. So if you're Taimani today and you want to eat a locust, what bracha do you make on it? Says Rabbi Yehuda. We say shakal. Rabbi Yehuda says no. Kolshu min klala, since it's a curse, you eat it as is. Without a bracha. What if a person has different fruits in front of him? Apples, oranges, and a pomegranate. Rabbi Yehuda Oimer, it goes by the Shivas Haminim. Shivas Haminim is first. Tomorrow we're going to discuss at greater length how that works exactly. You make a bracha on the one that you like more, and what is that called? Chaviv. What does chaviv mean? Let's say I'm looking at two fruits right now. I love apples, but there's an apple and an orange. Today I'm not in the mood for an apple. What's chaviv? What? Chaviv now. Anybody else? The Rosh says chaviv in general. The halacha is chaviv in general. I knew it would be a chiddush. The other Rishonim say what? The Rambam. Machloikis. Very good, Hill. The Rambam says now. Then it almost makes sense. No. In general for you. Ton Rabbanon al davar shein gedulim min haaretz kigoyim besar behemos chayis v'oifos v'dogim. Meat, chicken, fish. Oy meshakol niyeh b'dvaroi. Al chol b'al beitzim al gvino oy meshakol. Milk, eggs, cheese, shackle. Now, story about Tshuva came to me. He said, I was on a crazy long trip. We were in, I forgot where it was, in Africa. And don't ask what happened, but on Shabbos, we had Lechem Mishnah. It was spoiled, right? It had mold in it. And Baruch Hashem, we controlled ourselves. We were mizgaber, and we made Hamoitzi Lechem in Haaretz on this bread. And I told him, like I told another guy, Syria, a guy that I helped make about Tshuva, he called me up, Eli, I got to tell you, I just ordered, the first time in my life, I just ordered the sandwich from this Trefa restaurant in Chicago. I told him, leave the cheese off the chicken. And I'm a kaim, so I had to ruin it for him. I told him, listen, that's not really, I explained to him, chicken also has to, it's not just chicken and that. Explained to him. So over here also, I told the guy, listen, this is not a hamaitzi. You don't make hamaitzi on that. And he was very depressed because he had to eat moldy bread to be yaitz this thing. Why? Yeah, kazais. Ala pashi ipsho. If you have moldy bread, you make a shahako. You're not yaitza. You don't make hamaitzi on it. Val yain chigrim, spoiled wine. Val tavshe shiba tzurosoi. Oy meshahako. Ala mel azomis, on salt water and salt. Val kmeim, on truffles, right? What's truffle? The most expensive food in the world. Upitrius, or mishahako. Lememra de kmeim upitrius lav giduli. I know Rav Shomer has something to say about kmeim. Lav giduli karganinu. Vatanyo. So Mela, you're telling me that anything that grows from the ground you make adama, but truffles and mushrooms you don't. So you're telling me that they don't grow from the ground. If a person says I'm not going to eat anything that grows from the ground, also beperes haaretz. So mutar b'kmeim upitrius. He's allowed to eat vim omar kol gedulei karkolai. Anything that grows, also b'kmeim upitrius. It's also. So in other words, it does grow. Amar Abaya mir baravu ma'aro menek lo yankim ma'aro. They don't draw nourishment from the actual soil. They might get moisture from it, but not actual. But it says gidulai. So you have to amend this and say it's talking about nourishment from the ground. What are these noivlois? My noivlois, Reb Zeira, Reb Eloy, Chad Omar, Bishuli Kamro, Vechad Omar, Tamrid Dezika. There's two types of dates. One that gets burnt in the sun, and one that falls off from the wind. Now, something that gets burnt in the sun, I can understand why it changes the bracha. The bracha changes from O'ait to Shakal. It's burnt, it's worthless. But if it falls off from the sun, we have a problem. Rabbi Yehuda holds that if it's a curse, you don't make a bracha on it. I understand if it's burnt, that's a curse. Elamanda Omar Tamri de Zika, Maimin Klala, why is that a curse if it fell off the tree from the wind? Ashara, you're right, it's not talking about the Tamarim, it's talking about the locust. I can understand if it's burnt, it's a shahakol. Just because it fell off the tree by wind, shahakol. It remains right. Ella, says the Gemara, obviously our Mishnah is talking about that it's burnt, and therefore the bracha changes, and therefore it's considered a curse. There's another Mishnah that mentions a word noivlois tomorrow, not just plain noivlois, but noivlois tomorrow. This nan. But dmai, what does dmai mean? You have amoritz that sold you something, you don't know whether or not he gave trumas or maestris. Since he's amoritz, you must do it again. However, the Mishnah says hakalan shibidmai, things that are extremely inexpensive. We're not choishish that the amoritz is going to try to cut corners. He'll give. All of a sudden, he becomes a tzaddik when he has 10 ton that's worth $1. He'll give meiser. Hakalan shibidmai hashitin v'arimin v'uzrodim b'nai shuach. The Gemara explains what these are. V'gufnin v'nitzba v'noivlois tmara. So it says here noivlois tmara. That's one of the cheap things. Shitin. What's shitin? Amar Rabbi Yochanan min ta'inim. Rimin kinodei. It's I don't know. We'll look it up in the article. How is Radim Tulshe B'nai Shuach? I don't have time, so I'm not going to get into everything. Amar Rabbi Chana, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Teini Chivrasa, white dates, B'nai Shikma, Amar Rabbi Chana, Rabbi Yochanan, Dublei Gufnin, sycamore figs, Shilei Gufnei, the what? Dublei Gufnin. What's grapes? Shilei Gufnin. The late blossomers, Bekitzer, they don't taste very good. Nitzpa, this is what we had. The caper berries, Pircha, Noivleis Tomorrow. This is what we need. What is a noivlois tomorrow? So now our Mishnah, we said noivlois is the burnt dates. The burnt ones. They're very cheap. They're very cheap because they're burnt. The potter. But if it fell off the tree, why you chayav? It's hefker fell off the tree. If I make a pile out of my dates that fell off the tree, even though they're hefker, I'm chayv meiser. Let's stop over here because we're already late. Have a wonderful day.
How come it doesn't say by things where it's rotten, like wine that went bad, like vinegar, or bread that's moldy, that you don't have to make a bracha at all? It should say that, just like he says by other things.
Like klala? It's not a klala.
Why not? It's
no,
rotten.
no.
It makes you sick.
No, that